Hidden in the misty highlands of Scotland lies Loch Ness, a vast, deep freshwater lake that stretches for about 23 miles between Inverness and Fort Augustus. With dark waters and a depth that plunges to nearly 230 meters, it is the largest body of fresh water by volume in Great Britain. But beyond its tranquil beauty and dramatic landscape, Loch Ness is most famous for a mystery that has captivated the world for centuries. The legend of the Loch Ness Monster, affectionately known as Nessie. Let's dive into the story. The story of a strange creature lurking in Loch Ness is older than most people think. The first recorded mention dates back to the 6th century, in a biography of St. Columba, an Irish missionary. Written by Adamnan, the text recounts that Columba encountered villagers burying a man who had been attacked by a water beast in the River Ness. When the creature appeared again, Columba supposedly commanded it, in the name of God, to retreat, and it obeyed. Though this ancient tale was likely exaggerated or symbolic, it became the first spark of what would later become a centuries-long fascination. Over time, local legends and oral stories described large, mysterious shapes moving through the loch, unsettling fishermen and villagers. Yet, it wasn't until the 20th century that Nessie became an international sensation. In 1933, the construction of a new road along Loch Ness opened up previously remote views of the water. Soon after, sightings began flooding in. The first modern report came from Aldi McKay, a hotel manager who claimed she saw a dark shape rolling and plunging through the loch. Her account, published in the Inverness Courier, described a whale-like fish. The story caught the attention of the press, and soon newspapers across Britain began sending reporters to the Scottish Highlands. By the summer of 1933, curiosity had grown into full-blown mania. People lined the shores with binoculars and cameras, hoping to spot the mysterious creature. The Loch Ness Monster had officially entered modern folklore. Perhaps the most famous moment in the legend's history came in April 1934, when a photograph appeared in the Daily Mail. Taken by Colonel Robert Kenneth Wilson, a London surgeon, the image seemed to show a long-necked creature with a small head rising from the water, strikingly similar to a prehistoric plesiosaur. The photo caused a global sensation. Scientists, journalists, and tourists descended upon Loch Ness. Some were convinced the photo was proof of a surviving dinosaur species, and others saw it as evidence of an unknown aquatic animal. For decades, this photograph became the defining image of Nessie, the proof that believers pointed to and skeptics sought to debunk. But in 1994, after 60 years of fame, the photo was revealed to be a hoax. It was constructed using a toy submarine fitted with a model head, orchestrated by Marmaduke Wetherell, a filmmaker who had previously been embarrassed by the Daily Mail when his supposed Nessie footprints were proven to be fake. Despite the revelation, the photo's influence endured, and the mystique of the Loch Ness Monster only deepened. Since the 1930s, countless expeditions have tried to uncover the truth behind the Loch Ness Monster. Each generation brought new technology: sonar scans, underwater photography, and even satellite imagery. But none have delivered conclusive proof. In the 1960s, a group of enthusiasts led by naturalists and scientists established the LNPIB, which is Loch Ness Phenomena Investigation Bureau. Using cameras and telescopes, they monitored the loch for over a decade. Despite hundreds of volunteers and some intriguing photos, no definitive evidence emerged. In 1975, American inventor Dr. Robert Rines and his team used sonar and underwater cameras to capture what appeared to be the outline of a large, flippered creature. The images, published by Nature magazine, reignited interest and led many to believe Nessie was real. However, later analysis showed that the photos had been heavily enhanced and possibly misinterpreted. In one of the most ambitious searches ever, Operation Deep Scan used 24 boats equipped with advanced sonar to sweep the entire loch. The operation detected several large, unexplained sonar contacts, though they could not be definitively identified as living creatures. While skeptics dismissed the results as misreading of logs or schools of fish, believers claimed the sonar had finally detected Nessie's presence, deep within the loch's abyss. In recent years, scientists have used environmental DNA to study the loch. By sampling and analyzing the genetic material in the water, researchers hoped to identify every living species present. Surprisingly, the studies found no evidence of large, unknown animals or prehistoric reptiles. However, they did find abundant eel DNA, leading to a new theory. Nessie could simply be an enormous eel, misunderstood and mythologized over time. There are so many theories and explanations as following. Number 1. A surviving plesiosaur. The most popular theory among believers is that Nessie is a plesiosaur, a marine reptile believed to have gone extinct 65 million years ago. Its long neck and flippers fit the descriptions and photographs. But skeptics point out that plesiosaurs were cold-blooded reptiles that required warm oceans, and Loch Ness, being cold and freshwater, is an unlikely habitat. Moreover, no fossil evidence suggests any species survived to modern times. Number 2. A giant eel. The eel theory, supported by modern DNA studies, suggests that unusually large European eels might be mistaken for a monster. Eels can grow several meters long and often surface in odd, snake-like movements. In the murky waters of Loch Ness, such a sight could easily spark terrifying legends. Number 3. Seismic gas and optical illusions. Some scientists propose that seismic activity beneath the loch releases gas bubbles that disturb the surface, creating the illusion of a moving creature. The dark peat-stained water also distorts reflections, making logs, waves, or swimming animals appear far larger and more mysterious than they are. Number 4. Psychological and cultural explanations. Psychologists argue that the human brain is prone to pattern recognition. The tendency to find familiar shapes, like creatures in random visual data. Combined with the legend's fame, this makes people more likely to see something when looking at the loch. The phenomenon is similar to seeing shapes in clouds or faces on Mars. Number 5. Hoaxes and misidentifications. Over the years, many claimed sightings have turned out to be hoaxes, waves, or floating debris. Yet even when proven false, each story adds to the legend's power, reminding us that sometimes people want to believe in mysteries more than they want the truth. Few legends have influenced popular culture as profoundly as the Loch Ness Monster. Nessie has appeared in films, books, cartoons, and music, becoming a symbol of the unknown and a reminder that our world still holds secrets. From the 1950s onwards, the monster became a tourist icon for Scotland. The nearby town of Drumnadrochit hosts the Loch Ness Centre and exhibition, attracting hundreds of thousands of visitors each year. The local economy thrives on Nessie's fame, from souvenirs and boat tours to documentaries and festivals. In media, Nessie has been portrayed in countless ways. A terrifying sea beast, a misunderstood prehistoric survivor, or even a friendly creature in children's stories like the water horse. In each version, Nessie represents the same idea: the coexistence of myth and science, of wonder and skepticism. The legend has also inspired generations of researchers, adventurers, and dreamers. Whether serious scientists or amateur enthusiasts, they all share a common motivation: the hope of discovering something extraordinary. In 2011, a sonar image captured by a local skipper showed a long, snake-like object about 23 feet long moving below the surface. In 2014, Apple Maps users spotted what looked like a giant shape under the water, sparking viral headlines worldwide. Most recently, in 2023, volunteers organized one of the largest coordinated searches in decades, using drones and hydrophones. Although no physical proof emerged, many participants reported strange noises and ripples that defied explanation. The legend, it seems, refuses to fade. So why, after nearly a century of investigation, does the world remain enchanted by the Loch Ness Monster? Part of the answer lies in human nature. We are storytelling creatures, drawn to the unknown. Nessie represents a bridge between science and myth, between what we know and what we hope might still be out there. In a world where satellites can map every inch of Earth, The idea that something so large could still hide in plain sight thrills our imagination. Moreover, Loch Ness itself plays a vital role. Its dark, almost opaque waters conceal what lies beneath, and the surrounding mist-shrouded hills create an atmosphere of mystery. When one stands on its shores, gazing into the endless ripples, it's easy to believe that something ancient and secret stirs below. Believers argue that absence of evidence is not evidence of absence. Skeptics see the legend as a cultural phenomenon rather than a biological one. But both sides agree on one thing: the Loch Ness Monster has become far more than a creature. It is an enduring symbol of wonder, reminding us that not everything in life must be proven to be meaningful. The story of the Loch Ness Monster is not merely about a creature in a lake. It is a reflection of our deepest human desires: to explore, to discover, and to believe. Whether Nessie is a giant eel, a trick of light, a relic from prehistoric times, or simply the product of imagination, the legend continues to ripple through time, undiminished. Loch Ness still holds its secrets close, wrapped in mist and mystery, and perhaps that's how it should be. Because as long as the waters of the Scottish Highlands remain dark and silent, we will keep wondering what might be swimming just beneath the surface. After all, in a world where almost everything has been explained, the greatest mystery of all might be that some things remain beautifully unexplained. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.